Alrighty, I'm going to show y'all how to change the key switch and also change the theft device. This is part of it right here. This goes on the ignition. So I'm going to show y'all how to remove it. And you don't have to take steering wheel off. I just done it because I already had the dash and everything out earlier, so I had to take steering wheel off anyway. So you're going to unscrew this. Should be able to just, it should come loose a lot easier than that, but hang on a second. All right, I had to take a pair of pliers to it, but just to show you, this is kind of what you got to do. So you got 3 screws here, and the reason I'm doing this right here is because I've done an engine swap on this vehicle, and some of the stuff is not working from one to the other. So I'm swap my other dash back out, and I'm just going to put all of the anti-theft stuff in my old dash and on my old steering column, and hopefully that will solve that problem. Now you should be able to, well, I guess it's still in there just a tad bit. All right, so as you can see, here is that device that goes on your ignition. Now you're just gonna, this little thing back here, you may have to pop a screwdriver or something in there to kind of press against it. Kind of like, kind of hard to hold the phone and do this at the same time, but there we go. All right, now out that come. Now, just try not to run it. Then we're going to take this little hex thing here, get it out of the way. Now, the next thing to do, now we're pulling the whole key switch and everything out. Just take sticky something, well, actually you got to put the key in it. There's this little tab right here that sticks out, and you got to turn the key. Hang on a second. Alrighty, now I've got my key, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stick my key back in the ignition, and I've got it to the start position. Now, this little pinhole right here, right there, I should be able to push it in. Hold on, I'm gonna have to use a little more force, but shouldn't have to use too much. But yeah, you basically, all you do is you kind of wiggle your key, wiggle it, and then pull while you're pushing down on this. Now, once you get that pin pushed in, it'll come right out, and you'll have to remove the one thing. And then to put it back in, you just simply, you don't have to push in on anything, but we do need this right here because I'm swapping it over to the other vehicle. So we want that whole part right there. Now, basically, we're just gonna kind of hook this one back in over here. Clicks in place. And we shove that back in there. Find the screw it back down. And then we want to put the other key switch back in, so we'll just take like that. And that right there is hooked to your key ignition. There's this little bar that when you turn the key over, it pushes down on that and activates your ignition. Then you just replace all your interior, put your interior pieces back on. And then this right here, this little lever that when I unscrewed that works on the tilt. But that is the key switch from the Mountaineer. That's the key switch. That's the little thing that it reads, because each one of these keys has a chip in them. And that hooks up to a little device that goes right here, plugs onto that, right behind your airbag. And all of that works in sync. It's supposed to work in sync with everything to tell your vehicle it's not being tooken. So, and the reason I'm doing all this is because I've done a 5.0 swap, and I'm trying to figure out where in the world my system's acting up at. I can get it to turn over and I can get it to start for a little bit, but I can't get it to stay running. So I'm going to try this way and see if this helps it. Because I'm really not sure at this point what else I can really do, because of the simple fact I've done changed the computer out. I've changed the dash wire and harness and everything else. I even had the other one in there originally, but there was also leftover plugs. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe some of these plugs has got something to do with it. But I'll probably be taking it to a dealership if this don't straighten it out, and see if they can hook it up and see if the computer's showing anything in there or not showing something it should be. But if you need to change your ignition on these things, it's not too super hard. You just got to pop off your column, and then you got to do that. Not really hard at all. So, y'all, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.